unsettler. Always, at every moment, there will be the thrill of victory, the sensation of trampling on an enemy who is helpless. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever.
Citizens, welcome to the archive. Being the year 2084, we all love and know the greatness and perfection of our dystopia. As such, we all have a grand duty to continue in our great endeavor. Those of us who are looking after you wish to provide a history of our society, as well as a step-by-step guide for achieving the goals of totalitarianism that led to such levels of human perfection. Welcome to Dystopia Now.
All right, guys. Welcome to All Minus One. I'm Bill. How are you guys doing tonight? I know everyone's over on the Future Conflict channel, apparently. Cannot compete, nor dare I try. So, guys, I wanted to talk tonight about Mazzini's dream, the founder of the Mafia. And I want to talk about this because it's sort of a conspiracy theory of sorts. I don't know if there's any hard proof of the realities of Mazzini being a Freemason, but supposedly he's the founder of the Scottish Rite in Italy, specifically a friend of Albert Pike. Now, maybe you know this name because you watch my channel. Maybe you know this name because you heard it elsewhere. Maybe you know this name because you study the occult, such as I. I don't know, but what I do have for you is a quote real quick, and we're going to get into some other material, but I want to bring up a quote because I want you to understand how deep and far this stuff goes. And I've been saying this for a long time, but what has happened, especially very recently, is Bill has come back to the internet. And in coming back to the internet, I'm coming back to the internet in a different way, and it's a little bit more seriously. So within that, I've been using Twitter a lot, and of course, Twitter is basically low engagement right now. It's way messed up. It's from what I understand, the algorithms from where it once was has it set in that manner now, right? Elon said it was some Goldberg Rube machine or some nonsense. In any case, it's a big black box, and it's pretty screwed right now. Regardless, I have made some connections there, and I'm going to continue to do that. And it seems to be the best way to advertise. And my apologies for not being able to stream the other day, yesterday, as I was sick to my stomach all day. I was at work Monday, and I grabbed a Wendy's. I ordered online ahead of time. I grabbed the sandwich. It looked like it sat out for a while. It was sus, and I'm brave, and it was a bad decision. I'm pretty sure that was the thing that got me sick. So anyways, and of course, last week I had a cold, but yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern. That's the plan. To try to do it as much as possible. I see more viewers are piling in. I appreciate that. I see you, Kizza. I see you, Mrs. Anti-Commie. I know York was there earlier. That's over on the YouTubes. I don't see anyone on Rumble yet, but as policy here goes from now on, from henceforward, I will be migrating to Rumble shortly after starting the show. So here's the quote I wanted to bring up. He suddenly recalled from Plato's Symposium, people were hermaphrodites until God split them in two. And now all the halves wander the world over seeking one another. Love is the longing for the half of ourselves we have lost. That is Milan Kundera. Now, I've brought up to you Milan Kundera in the past before. His book of Laughter and Forgetting is a pretty important work, in my opinion. It's not super well known, but I use the quote about from him quite a bit about basically eradicating the society and how you do that, how you replace their culture and their people and whatever else. Kundera is a pretty good wordsmith, in my opinion. But regardless, this quote is very important because he's talking about Plato's Symposium, which we will come back around to. Maybe tomorrow, if I'm lucky, our friend Clint from the other week, Classical Liberal, is going to stop by. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And it was a very long talk. We were talked for 4 hours. I was not at my best, for sure. Clint had a lot of questions. We're going to go over them again. Some of the stuff, even more so. He's figuring this stuff out. But again, you guys really need to know this because things are connecting. This no longer is just Alex Jones was right territory, right? This is no longer just, these wacky fringe conspiracy theorists, because I've never believed in some wacky fringe conspiracy. What I believe is that there are, spirits of the age, if you would. There are attitudes that take over people, and there are ways in which we go and direct ourselves in how there is a mind that leads everybody. Now, that could be interdimensional beings, because I do have faith, and I think that it's highly actually plausible. But it's not just who serves or who's in contact with that specifically, if you serve it indirectly. Regardless, what we're really dealing with is a 10,000-year-old death cult. And what is in this quote right here is part of that death cult. It is the lesser form of it, the alchemic side of it, the hermeticist side of things. But this is part of the transgender cult, right? The wokeness cult, the Marxian cult. That's what this is about, because for a hermeticist, the truest thing in philosophy is not the philosopher's stone, but the homunculi, and that is bringing both male and female back together in unity. Now, if you know anything about the occult, that's also the form of Baphomet. In all these things, these symbols, these signs represent certain ideas and notions of mankind that get echoed throughout the ages. And so in what's called a syncretism, they're mix, match, and recompile, but it doesn't matter. It's all the same general stuff. And so with that, I want to show you this from Mazzini. And again, you can do your research and think what you will of this. In fact, before I get into it, what are we, 10 minutes in? Let's go over to Rumble. Anti-Commie says never eat Wendy's. Dude, I eat Wendy's all the time, but I went to a different store than I normally do. I mean, I'm not saying you should be eating fast food all the time, folks, but I'm just when I'm hungry, I can grab a burger. Wendy's is pretty reliable, certain locations, right? I went to a poor location. We ordered ahead of time thinking it was going to be helpful, and it was not. And yeah. Anyways, let's switch over to Rumble, guys. So hope you all will join me there. I'm going to give you about a minute and a half to go over there because YouTube is just not worth it. It's only worth bringing people in. It is just not worth all of the hassle. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to play a video for you, about a minute and a half long. It's already been cycling over there on Rumble, but here you go, guys. I'll see you on the other side.
Facts and common sense are in. Yes, there have been corrupt empires. Yes, they manipulate. Yes, there are secret societies. Yes, there have been oligarchies throughout history. And yes, today in 2002, there is a tyrannical organization calling itself the New World Order, pushing for worldwide government, a cashless society, open borders, total and complete tyranny, where human beings are absolutely worthless. There's 6.25+ billion of us, and The globalists have said it many times. There's too many of us. We're causing a problem. We need to be culled at the tune of 80%. It's amazing to talk about that, but it's the globalists, the UN, their own public statements, and they've convinced a lot of liberals and elitist conservatives and others that by going along with this, that we're intelligent members of society. It's the ultimate Malthus world view. It is this radical, virulent form of social Darwinism. It's the excuse of tyrants. And by creating open borders where there's no national sovereignty and only global bodies that control all the resources, by centralizing and socializing health care, the state becomes God, basically, when it comes to your health. And then by releasing diseases and viruses and plagues upon us, we then basically get